Hello guys, welcome back. Today let us solve some questions on progression. So let's see the first question. The first term of an arithmetic progression is unity and the common difference is 4. Which of the following will be a term of this AP? Okay. So first term A is 1 is given and the common difference D is 4. So how will this AP be? So it will be 1 and then 5, 9, 13 and so on. So we want to check which one of this following is part of this progression, arithmetic progression. So we'll use our knowledge of the remainder theorem, right? So whenever this number is divided by 4, the remainder will be 1, right? Because we are starting with 1 and adding 4 everywhere. So any number, let's say Tn divided by 4 will give a remainder of 1. Then what will be the remainder when Tn minus 1 is divided by 4? The remainder will be 0, right? So Tn minus 1 is exactly divisible by 4. So we'll go and see, check each term. And also remember, divisibility by 4, check last 2 digits. If they are divisible by 4, then the number is divisible by 4. Okay. So 4551 minus 1 will give us, I'll write it here, 4550. So last two numbers, 50. Is it divisible by 4? No. Because 48, 4 into 12 is 48. So 50 is not divisible. And then next we'll go to 10091 minus 1 is 90. Again 90 is again not divisible by 4. So we'll go to the C option. 7881 minus 1 will be 7880. 80 is divisible, 4 into 20, right? Okay. We'll check if other terms are also part of this AP or not. Okay, 13531 minus 1 is 0. 30 is not divisible. And the last one, 39 will be 38. 38 is again not divisible. So the correct option is option C. Okay, let's go to the next question. If A times the 8th term of an AP is equal to B times the bth term, find the A plus bth term. Okay. For an AP, what is the nth term? Let's say here A and B, A is taken. So let's say capital A is the first term and capital D is the common difference, just to differentiate. So what will be the nth term? Nth term will be A plus n minus 1 into D. So what will be the 8th term? 8th term will be A plus A minus 1 into D. What about the bth term? A plus B minus 1 into D. What they have given? A times the 8th term of an AP is equal to the B times the bth term. So A into TA is equal to B into TB. Okay. And what they are asking to find? Find the A plus bth term. So what will be A plus bth term? It will be A plus B minus 1 into D. So first let's try to simplify this. So A into A plus A minus 1 into D is equal to B into B plus B minus 1 into D. Okay. I'm making this mistake again and again. So A there. So now let's multiply inside. A times A plus, this will be A square D minus AD is equal to BA plus B square D minus BD. Okay, we'll take everything to the same side. A minus B into A plus A square minus B square into D minus of A minus B into D is equal to 0. So this can be written as A plus B into A minus B. So A minus B is common. So A minus B into A plus a plus b into d minus d is equal to 0. So either a minus b equal to 0 or a plus b into d minus d is equal to 0. And I think by assumption a and b are different terms. So this is not the answer. So this will be the answer. If we simplify this, we get this. But the left hand side is nothing but what we wanted, right? So this is nothing but t of a plus bth term. So what is the a plus bth term? It is 0. So we have option A. Okay. Let's go to the next question. A man receives a pension starting with rupees 100 for the first year. Each year he receives 90% of what he received the previous year. Find the maximum total amount he can receive even if he lives forever. So from the question only you can identify it is some kind of GP, right? Geometric progression, because of this 90%. So in the first year what will he receive? 100. So in the second year he will receive 90% of 100. So which is nothing but 100 into 90 by 100. And in the third year he will receive 100 into 90 by 100. 90% of this number, right? And so on. And it is we are asked to find the maximum total amount. So total amount means the sum of these. And if he lives forever, so we are tending it to infinity. Okay. So for this is a GP series. So what is the first term? A is 100. And what is the ratio? Common ratio is this 90 by 100, right? So 90 by 100, which is nothing but 0.9. And we already saw sum of infinite terms of an GP, right? So sum of the nth term of the GP for r less than 1 is a into 1 minus r power n by 1 minus r. And we also saw that as n tends to infinity, s infinity will give r power n will tend to 0. So we'll get a by 1 minus r. So that is what they have asked here. We'll just substitute and find it very easy. So 100 by 1 minus 0.9, which is nothing but 100 by 0.1, which will be 1000 rupees. So the maximum total amount he can receive even if he lives forever is 1000. Right. So option B. So let us now go to the next question. The sum of the first 10 terms of the GP is S1 and the sum of the next 10 terms from 11 through 20 is S2. Find the common ratio. Okay, we'll first say A be the first term and R be the common ratio. So how will the GP be? AR square and so on. So let's take first 10 terms. So this will be 1 to 10, first to 10th term. So the nth term is nothing but AR power n minus 1. So 10th term will be AR power 9. So if I write it out, it will be AR square and so on until AR power 9. And from 11th term to 20th term. So the 11th term will be AR power 10 and the 20th term will be AR power 19. So this 12th term will be AR power 11, AR power 12 and so on. So sum of these is S1, right? Sum of the first 10 terms is S1 and the next 10 terms is S2. And the sum of these is S2. So sum of S1 we can find out easily. So the sum of n terms of AP is A into R power n minus 1 by R minus 1. So A is A itself and 10 terms will be 10 by r minus 1. Okay. And how do we find the next 10, sum of next 10 term? So I'll represent it as s dash. It is given as s2. So one thing we can do is, this is 10. We can take sum of first 20 and subtract it from 10. This is one way. Or other way, if you see these itself, the first term is like ar power 10 and the common ratio is r everywhere. So this itself forms an GP, right? With new a dash as ar power 10 and r dash as r itself. So sum of first 10 terms of this GP will be ar power 10 into r power 10 minus 1 by r minus 1. Okay, now we have to find r. So if you relate this and see, taking the ratio will directly result in it. So s2 by s1 will be, everything will cancel except for r power 10. So r will be root of s2 by s1, 10th root plus or minus. Whenever there is an even power, right? So we need to take plus or minus. For example, let's take a square is 4. So a can be plus or minus 2. Why is it so? 2 plus 2 whole square is also 4. Minus 2 whole square is also 4. On the other hand, for odd powers, if you say a cube equal to 8, we only have one answer. A is equal to 2. Because 2 cube is 8 and minus 2 cube will give you minus 8. So real roots, if you see, you will only have one real root for odd powers, right? For even powers you will have this plus or minus. That's why r power 10 you will have this plus or minus also. Okay, so the correct answer is option C, right? Okay, let's solve the last question for today. The sum of the series. So they are just asking the sum of the series. And so on until root 120 plus root 121. So if you see, it does not fall under AP, does not fall under GP, and it does not fall under harmonic progression also. So how do you solve this? Right? Take 2 minutes to think. Maybe pause the video and think and then come back. So these kind of questions are most prevalent and many times asked, and like there are some trick involved. So here if you see the denominator, the under the roots the numbers differ by 1, right? So 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, they just give plus 1 plus 1. Here also plus 1. So what you do, in the numerator you write it like this, 2 minus 1. Numerator it is 1, right? So you write it as 2 minus 1, root 1 plus root 2 plus this you write as 3 minus 2 by root 2 plus root 3 and so on. So this you can write it as 121 minus 120 by root 120 plus root 121. Okay. Now can you see a way to solve it easily? So this is nothing but in the form of a square minus b square. So that is nothing but a plus b into a minus b. So 2 minus 1 is nothing but root 2 whole square minus root 1 whole square. So this will give a root 2 plus root 1 into root 2 minus root 1. Likewise for every other numbers. So we'll get it as root 2 plus root 1 into root 2 minus root 1 by root 1 plus root 2 plus root 3 plus root 2 into root 3 minus root 2 by root 2 plus root 3 and so on. I'll remove this. So finally we have root of 121 minus plus root 120 into root 121 minus root 120 divided by root 120 plus root 121. Now you say you can cancel these terms because they are the same. So what you will be left with? Root 2 minus root 1 plus root 3 minus root 2, and you will have other terms. And if you take the last before term, you will be left with 120 minus root 119 plus root 121 minus root 120. So if you see, all these terms cancel. 119 also will cancel with the previous term. So you'll only be left with minus root 1 plus root 121. So root 1 is 1 itself, and 121 is 11 square. So root of 121 will give you 11. So the answer is 10. So at initial you may think like this is not possible to solve, but I think with practice, when you practice some 20-30 questions, you will get that intuition on how to solve these questions. So don't just stop with this video, go back, try to search some questions online from the previous year question papers. There are lots of resources available. So once you get the resources, you try to solve and well, if you don't know once or twice, take some time to solve. If you still don't get, refer the solution, and then try to connect. Once if you see this type of question, it may be given in the other format. So it may start from root 5 plus root 4. You should still be able to connect it. Or if it is like root 5 minus plus root 3, if it is differing by 2, then what you do? You just divide by 2 and multiply by 2, and then still it is valid, right? So you need to get these type of intuitions. So keep practicing and enjoy your learning. Thank you.